Today's car word of the day is four-wheel drive. The previous two videos were about the front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive cars, and it's pretty much very straightforward and simple. Almost 90% of cars have engines in the front, so if it's front-wheel drive car, engine in the front, and the front wheels drive the car, and the rear-wheel drive car, engine in the front, and then differential in the back, and then rear wheels drive the car. And of course there are different exceptions with like sport cars that have engines in the back, which will also be rear-wheel drive, but the configuration would just be very similar to a front-wheel drive car because it would have a transaxle, which is pretty much a transmission that has a differential inside of it. So that's why I was mentioning the sport cars in the front-wheel drive car video, because I just wanted to point out that they have the similar path of the torque or power from the engine. It doesn't have a long drive shaft going across the body of the car. But right now we got to four-wheel drive, and technically there are two ways to do four-wheel drive. The one that is like front-wheel drive with the transverse engine and torque going back with another drive shaft and differential in the back, or rear-wheel drive application with the longitudinal engine with the drive shaft going to the back and differential in the back, but also drive shaft splitting with the transfer case and going to the front and having differential in the front and splitting the torque for the front wheels as well. No matter what, you'll have a differential in the front and in the back in both applications. It's just one will have a one less drive shaft. Both of them are four-wheel drive cars or four-wheel drive applications. If the car has four wheels turning, it means that it's a four-wheel drive car, because if it has two wheels turning, it's a two-wheel drive car, either front or rear, or if it has four, it's a four-wheel drive car. It's either 4x4 or all-wheel drive. Both have four wheels spinning, just in different applications, in different ways. It's a little bit wet in the car, so I'll continue from here. If you lift a four-wheel drive car on a hoist and press on the accelerator pedal, all four wheels should be spinning, because the front and rear wheels have their own differentials that are receiving power from the engine and turning the axles that are turning the wheels. If you lift an all-wheel drive car on a hoist, it depends on what kind of application it is, depends on how the engineers decided. Sometimes if it's a front-wheel drive bias, all-wheel drive. If you are pressing on the accelerator pedal, you might only have the front wheels spinning, because the car is engineered so that the rear wheels will start spinning only when front wheels are not getting enough traction, so then the car will send more power to the rear wheels, or will activate the all-wheel drive and the rear wheels will start spinning. And in other cases it's a bit different, so it's really, for all-wheel drive systems, it's important to specify which one you're talking about, and then looking into specific parts determine how it's going to behave here or there. With just a regular 4x4 application with two differentials in the front and in the back, doesn't matter if they're limited slip differentials or open differentials, if you press on the accelerator pedal, all four wheels should be spinning. If on the transmission it's selected to be in the four-wheel drive mode, because usually there's a selector for a two-wheel drive mode and a four-wheel drive mode. Some of the examples of 4x4 cars or four-wheel drive cars would be almost any pickup truck. If it's not rear-wheel drive, if it's upgraded, it would be 4x4. It would have, front and rear differentials again, 4 axles for each wheel, and it would be towing heavy loads. So trucks, something like Ford F-150, Dodge Ram 1500 to 5000, whatever it is, Chevrolet Silverado, so on and so forth. Well, so technically you can call any car that is all-wheel drive an example of a four-wheel drive car, because, as I said before, if it has four wheels that are spinning, it's a 4x4. If the only other alternative is a two-wheel drive car, which it's not. So all your 4MATICs, X-Drives for Mercedes, BMWs, other stuff for like Volkswagen and H-Track for Hyundai, they would all be examples of 4x4 vehicles or four-wheel drive cars. So, with all that being said, back to the car. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like videos like this. Also, in the previous videos that I've been filming, many people mentioned that it's important to point out if the differential in the car is limited slip differential or not. In most modern cars, for example, like this front-wheel drive car or cheaper version of rear-wheel drive cars like entry-level muscle cars like a V6 Camaro or a 4-liter turbo Mustang, if you don't pay more for a limited slip differential, it would have a regular open differential, which of course makes the car not as cool and fun. Like, it cannot apply the torque as much as it would be if it would have a limited slip differential in corners, on wet surfaces and other stuff. So limited slip is cooler and better if you're going after more performance feel in your car. But it doesn't stop it from being rear-wheel drive. My name is Alexei, this was Driving Approach, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.